Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered Sports here on the OG Network. My name is Shaq Mack, and I'm the owner of the Delaware Dogs. And I am proud to come to you live today to talk trash because that's what I like to do. I'm talk trash on how the Flyers are destroying the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Ben is not in the chat and hasn't been in the chat for a while. And he is a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And I'm telling you live that the Penguins might be swept in this playoff series. And I'm excited about that, right? I'm also here to tell you that I'm very disappointed in what the Sixers are doing. They are getting trashed by the Boston Celtics. I expected better mentality, better playing from the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're just letting me down left and right. To get beat by 32 points in the first game, outrageous. But here on Unfiltered Sports, we don't come with the biasness. We don't come for no PR stunts. We come with the unfiltered truth, and we don't care about your feelings because if your feelings get hurt, so be it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in the chat. I appreciate the love and the support. I hope you guys are having a great day and a blessed day as well. On top of the Philadelphia 76ers, Philadelphia Flyers, we're looking at the Philadelphia Phillies, and they are not playing great baseball as well. Right now, they are struggling. And if I'm not mistaken, they're still sitting in the bottom of their division. I'm going to pull up their standings really fast because it's just so frustrating that this early on, you guys are struggling. So in first place, you got the Atlanta Braves. They're 16-7. Then you got the Miami Marlins at 11-12. Then you got the Nationals at 10-13. Then the Phillies are at 8-14. And then the Mets are at 7-15. Granted, there's a lot of baseball, 182 games of baseball. There's still plenty of time. But the Phillies are on a 8-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But it's outrageous. Just it's really bad. They're 7.5 games behind first place, which means they need to start getting their act together if they think about playing in the playoffs this year. I mean, with the the move of Bryce Harper to first base, I think was a smart move for him to keep him healthy, to keep him possibly free from injury. But again, you have a lot of other key positions out there where people are getting paid millions of dollars to do what? I don't know what's happening with Trey Turner, but honestly, I don't think Trey Turner is actually playing to standard right now. You pay me a couple $1 million contract, $100 million contract like that. Let me go out there and play a position. I can play shortstop. I can play catcher. I can play pitcher. Like I can play baseball. But to suck that bad and just be in a drought, like I mean, you got to snap out of it. And in sports, they need to start teaching more and more of that short-term memory loss and how to stay out of your own head. Like it's imperative that our athletes that are getting paid these high dollar contracts know how to, you know, have that short-term memory, how to stay out of their own head, and if they need some help mentally, that they have uh, that service easily accessible to them. Again, thank you to everybody for tuning into the chat. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports on the OG Network. I just think with the way the Phillies are playing, that if they don't turn it around and they don't turn it around, then they're not they're not going to be making the playoffs this year. And I think they're going to be sitting in that last place spot in their division. And I don't know. Right now, I just don't think that the Phillies have what it takes right now to go back to the postseason, even possibly sit in the World Series position. I just don't see it happening right now. They're going to probably prove me wrong here soon, but I would not, if you are a sports bettor, I would not put my money on the Phillies winning. I would cover the spread, honestly. Lose by a run, lose by two. But to lose to the Nationals by 10, I think it was. Last I seen the score was like 7-0, and then it was just it was bad. They lost 13-2 to the Nationals. 13-2. Actually, let me look at it again. No, that was early on in the season. Let me go actually to the game that actually just happened. So actually yesterday they lost to the Cubs 5-1. So I mean, still you lost by four runs. Then you lost to the Braves the game before that, 2 points. Lost to the Braves again by two. Before that you lost by nine. Before that you lost by nine. Before that you lost by six. And then before that you won. So they were on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game losing streak. And then they play tonight versus the Chicago Cubs. It looks like they got a 1, 2, 3, 4 game series against the Chicago Cubs, and it's all in Chicago. And then they play Atlanta, 3 games in Atlanta. Then they come home and play San Fran for 3 games, and then they're back on the road in Miami. But if they don't get their act together and start collaborating as a team and playing more like a team, they will not see the postseason at all. But let's get back to the postseason for the NHL, right? Because I am very, very happy to see what is happening for the Philadelphia Flyers. And what I mean by that is that if this was any other year, I would not have any hope for the Philadelphia Flyers. Why? Because just 2 or 3 weeks ago, they weren't even qualifying to play in the postseason. But look at them now. They're playing great hockey. They're playing team hockey. They're learning how to clean up the trash. And they're up on the series 2 games to 0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. On top of that, they play tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And if I'm not mistaken, if they win tomorrow and they sweep them, they advance to the next round. So I think that's pretty cool. OG, I know you in the chat. Let's look at the comments. Chop asked, what week did we talk about the Patriots? We can go back and talk about the Patriots, Chop. You want to come live? We can talk about them. I mean, I'm open for you to come on Unfiltered Sports. I would love to have you as a guest on the show, and we could talk about the Patriots and the potential signing of AJ Brown, or the potential trade-in for AJ Brown to the Patriots. That's open talk on ESPN right now. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how the Patriots send some money over to Philadelphia and clear up some of that cap space. So let's keep that in the background there. That'll be exciting. And when we talk about Philadelphia, I think they have this season probably one of the hardest schedules again. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots have a tough schedule as well. I know they have somewhat of a QB controversy over there, because the Super Bowl loss or whatnot. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, we would love to have you on Unfiltered Sports and talk some sports with us about the Patriots, whatever it may be. It's always welcome. We love the hype. We love the energy. And we love people that don't, take away from their team or whatnot. Oh, I know. I'll be on there. I was in the comments one day. We were talking about how the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in one day. I remember that day. But that's just 8 years ago. We can't keep living in the past. Movie clips 1234-Y4J. As a small content creator, Definitely something that you have to keep at. It's not easy at all. Life will get to you, and my advice to you is keep at it. Even in the middle of life, just keep going. Is gonna benefit you in the long run. But when we look at again, we looked at the Flyers sweeping the Penguins, and now let's look at the fact that the Sixers, the Sixers are letting me down. The Sixers, out of all teams that I had high hopes for, especially after Drummond hit that three to help get them into the playoffs to win that game over Orlando. Now they choke and they lost by 32 points. Like, you gotta be kidding me. If any team pisses me off more when they lose, it's the Sixers. Because sometimes they have a decent squad and they know how to use their players, but they decide not to use them the correct way. Let's look at this here. Let's look at the Sixers schedule right now, or where they're at right now, because they're actually playing right now versus Boston in the second game of the conference quarterfinals, and they are up 11-10 with 7 minutes and 55 seconds left in the game. And I'm saying right now, if the Sixers can't keep this up, they will be embarrassed. Embarrassed. I highly, at the way they're playing right now, I highly do not see the Sixers getting past the first round of the playoffs. And they need to start using VJ Edgecombe. They need to start using Tyrese Maxey a little bit more to help lead the team and elevate them. You can't expect Cameron Payne to come off the bench and put in work. They're not even really, in my opinion, they're not really using Andre Drummond the way they need to be using him. Like, I really believe that if Philadelphia used every key player on their team, they can eliminate the Boston Celtics. If I'm not mistaken, it's been over 20 years since the Sixers have beaten the Boston Celtics in the playoff series. Over 20 years. So that should say something about this series. And that's why I have high hopes that after so long, they finally can pull the upset off. Yes, they're the 7th seed playing the number 2 seed, but it's the playoffs and anything can happen. They're in Boston right now. The Sixers need to win this game in Boston and make a statement, because when they go back home, they need to win 2 games at home as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the quarterfinals is only the best out of 5. So obviously, if they lose these 2 games, they got to win the next 2 at home in order to stay alive. So it used to be the best out of 7. Now it's the best out of 5, if I'm not mistaken. But Paul George, prescription P, whatever you want to call that man, he needs to get it together. He needs to be in vintage form. If he's not in vintage form, then they're going to lose. They're going to keep choking. Oh, Ben, you decided to join the chat after we just got done talking about how Pittsburgh got trashed by the Flyers. Dang, man. PG definitely has no heart right now. He has no motive. And I think after the season's done, whether they win this first round or not, PG's contract needs to be reevaluated, and he needs to either be released and become a free agent or retire, whatever comes first, and the Sixers needs to move on. I also believe the Sixers need to start rebuilding, not around Joel Embiid anymore, but around VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, they have Kelly Oubre Jr., but they need someone else that can bring that same hype and energy as VJ Edgecombe and as Tyrese Maxey. And I believe that if they find that small forward and they find that power forward that can play in those positions with that same high intensity energy as the point guard and shooting guard, they will do some damage. They have veteran players like Kyle Lowry on the bench. Maxey is definitely not questionable. That's just my opinion. But we also look at the fact that Maxey was in the running for MVP this season. We look at the fact that not Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe is also a finalist for Rookie of the Year. So that tells you a lot about that backcourt duo right now. They're playing great basketball together. That's what's happening. They're playing great basketball together. They just can't keep Paul George healthy, off of drugs, and they can't keep Joel Embiid free from injury. Because what's happening? They're playing in a series, and guess who's not playing in the playoffs this year again? You got it. Joel Embiid. Man, that's sad. Sixers are now down 13-17 with 6 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first quarter. And as I said before, Boston has the lead in that game and in the series. But I don't know. It just they frustrate me the most. And then the second most is the Philadelphia Eagles when they don't play smart football, when they don't run the football, when they don't pass it to their high caliber receivers, it becomes sloppy football and they lose the game, or they score a lot less than they normally can score, and they rely on their defense to save the game because there was two games. One was a block punt for a return, the other one was a block field goal for a return, and that saved them twice. But that was their defense, so it is what it is. They're going to they are going to smoke tonight, but yeah, they probably will get smoked by the Celtics tonight. I mean, but I don't think it's going to be by 32 points again. I think it's probably going to be by 10 points. But that's not really getting smoked, but I mean, it is what it is. But I also do know this stat that this is the first time, and I don't know how long, that all four Philadelphia teams have been in the playoffs together, or in the same year, I should say. You know, the Phillies last season, or yeah, this past season. You got the Eagles, you got the Sixers, you got the Flyers. Let's see what the Philadelphia Soul does, and let's see what the Philadelphia Union does. That could be interesting to see that happen too if they all make the playoffs in 1 year. And on other news with basketball, though, I highly believe that the flopper Lee Flop James needs to retire. And I say this because he's playing basketball with his son, and he's trying to mentor his son on the court. But his son has so many turnovers in that one game that it just didn't make any sense. But I believe LeBron needs to retire, or he needs to step back some and play a different role on the team of mentoring. Sixers organization needs a new team. No, I doubt it. Good thing about Philadelphia, though, they're getting a new basketball team for sure. Just not a new men's team. They're getting a women's team. They're getting a WNBA team. And I wonder what they're going to name it, actually. Let's see. Did they actually come out with a name for the Philadelphia WNBA team? And if so, what was it? Philadelphia WNBA game. NBA team, I should say. Name. So the official name for the Philadelphia WNBA expansion team set to begin play in 2030 has not yet been announced. The team, owned by Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, will involve fan input for the naming process. Popular selective names include Philadelphia Freedom, Philadelphia Independence, Philadelphia Liberty Bellas, or Liberty Bells, and the Philadelphia Talon. So if they look at for Philadelphia Freedom, there's a top contender referencing the 1970s Elton John song and the Philadelphia Freedom's tennis team. Bronny is trash, by the way. His brother Bryce is better than him. Philadelphia Independence is a popular patriotic nod to the city's history. Liberty Bells, a heavily discussed option, though some consider it too similar to the New York Liberty. Philadelphia Talon, a nod to the Eagles, and a popular choice for a new mascot. I like that one. Philadelphia 76ers a common suggestion to mirror the NBA's Philadelphia 76ers. And Philadelphia Johns, I like that one. The Philadelphia Johns is a humorous local slang option. And Philadelphia Keys, a creative nod to the Keystone State and Benjamin Franklin. The team will play at a new arena in South Philadelphia. Hmm. That's pretty dope, though. I'm not gonna lie. I like those options there. The Philadelphia Johns. That's it's humorous. I think it's funny, but it fits Philadelphia very well. Um, I like the 76 Hers. It mirrors that. I also like the Philadelphia Talon. It's just a new mascot. It's an eagle, but for the basketball, have the eagle with the basketball. I think that'd be cool. And then you can have swoop at the games too. That'd be pretty dope. Hmm, that's interesting. But yes, I think LeBron James, in my opinion, should retire. I know he's going to wait and try to pull Bryce into the NBA as well, just like he did for Bronny. And he's going to try to be the first father son combo to play on the same team. If Bryce gets drafted into the NBA, I highly believe that he'll get drafted to Cleveland. And then LeBron is going to get traded over to Cleveland. Bronny's going to go with them. Then you're going to have all three of them on the same team, and it's going to be crazy because then you're going to have Donovan Mitchell over there. You're going to have James Harden over there. You're going to have a washed up LeBron James. You're going to have a trash Bronny James and a pretty decent Bryce James. And if we look at ratings on NBA 2K, I would have Bryce James rating way higher than Bronny James. I'm going to put Bronny James ratings at a 65. Probably will put Bryce James at a 75 because I highly believe that Bryce is way better than Bronny James. Simple. It is what it is. But we know, Ben, you're a LeBron lover. You love LeBron till he dies. That's good for you, bro. But again, I just I really believe that it's time for him to hang it up. And so we'll see what happens with that in itself. But the ladies team is definitely going to be a great addition to the city of brotherly love. That's right, I said it. A great addition to the city of brotherly love. So again, when we look at this organization, right, and just look at what they're doing to the Xfinity Mobile Arena, how they're renovating it for a better game day experience. Look at what the Eagles are doing to Lincoln Financial Field for a better game day experience. I think with the renovation to Lincoln Financial Field, the way they have the entrance, it's kind of like you're walking through the Eagles' mouth or whatnot, but then they're gonna have like this separate room or area for kids or those that are on the spectrum with autism. They're gonna have a room to have those people with autism that can go to an Eagles game and go into this room for them where they can really cope with being at this game and still have a wonderful time. And I think that's an awesome move by Jeffrey Lurie. I really think that was a great move. And it's supposed to be like, if you ever been to Lincoln Financial Field and you can hear the echo and the energy of the fans when it's filled from miles away. But just think when they renovate it, how you'll be able to hear it for even more miles away, and how like electrifying these games will be, because you're not only just thinking about the Philadelphia Eagles games. You got to look at the World Cup for women's. You got to look at the Army Navy game and how packed that gets in December. You got to look at, just all the different events that they have at Lincoln Financial Field. Monster Jam, I believe, is at Lincoln Financial Field sometimes. It's just good opportunities overall. But the renovation of these venues. I was hoping that the Eagles, or not the Eagles, the Sixers didn't move from the Xfinity Mobile Arena to build a separate venue down in what is that, the Fashion District in Philadelphia, but they got to get something out of this venue now because we know the Flyers own the venue of Xfinity Mobile Arena. Now the Sixers get more of a profit out of it. Before they weren't really getting anything out of it, so now they are getting something out of it. So I think with the addition to the Sixers getting profit and them staying there, just add the Philadelphia WNBA team there, and I think it's going to be perfect. But where would they put this new stadium at for the ladies to play at, right? Because again, here's my thinking: if they build a new arena for the women's NBA team, then they can play in that arena as well as the Sixers, and then they split the profit that way. And then the Flyers will have their own arena to themselves. The Eagles have their own arena, and then the Phillies have their own arena, and it can be all in the same vicinity of each other. I think Philadelphia is maybe one of many few cities that still have all of their sports venues in the same complex area outside of the Philadelphia Union. And so I think it's crazy though, right? But Bronny has proved he is a powerhouse. How has he proved who he is a powerhouse? That's what I want to know. Out the pit, what's going on? Your number one fan is in the chat here, right there. His name is Ben. He's your number one fan out the pit. You might want to mentor him and teach him a thing or two about sports because we don't like trash people over here. He still talk about Bronny. Why move? Because nobody's coming to their lives of games. Hey, what just happened in Golden State? What just happened in Golden State, Ben? They choke artists. That's what happened. They lost the game, and guess what? After the game was over, Steve Kerr huddled with Draymond Green and Steph Curry and said, "I really appreciate you guys, but this might be the end of us." Steve Kerr is gone. Steve Kerr is out after 13 years. Man. Sucks to sucks. Sucks to suck. Don't get me wrong. Steve Kerr was a decent basketball player and a better coach. But what happened with Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin was a good coach. But when he stopped winning games, sorry, but don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. And sometimes, like, even just looking at sports in general and coaches in general, they can be winning games. But that coach might not buy into your vision and might not be aligning themselves with what you got going on. And so sometimes, even if the coach is winning, it might be their time to just say, we got to split ways because you're not aligning yourself to my vision to get my organization to where I need it to go. And it's a hard decision that your front office has to make in order to get the team to where it needs to be to better themselves. But it happens. And while I have y'all here, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video. I really would appreciate it. On top of that, if you haven't already, go to dogs_basketball_ on Instagram. Again, excuse me, that's dogs_basketball_ on Instagram, and follow us, right? Because we have been doing a lot of good updates to this organization. First and foremost, we've been posting a lot of the players that we signed for the men's team, but also the players we've been signing for the ladies team. And like I've been saying, is we have our dogs basketball team, which is our men's team, but we have our lady dogs as well, and that's our ladies team, and they pick up and play their first ever game together as a team on July 4th weekend. So we really need all the support. We need all the positivity. We need all the love that we can get for dogs basketball. On top of that, we're working on bringing in junior dogs, and that's going to be our youth travel team, and we're going to play games and different things like that. And I really have high hopes for the direction of the organization and where we're going as a whole. We have been revamping the website. If you haven't checked out our website already, go to Dog Basketball. That's DAWG basketball.com and check out the website and the direction that we're going. We have our development team that's been and is entering its second season. So last year was his first year as a development team, and we were just going to revamp it and keep going. And that's just the way I see things right now. And I think that it's going to allow us to keep bettering ourselves, and we can scout players, bring them into the development team, get them into a certain offense, a certain defense, train them up, and if we feel like they're ready to move up to the regular roster of the Dogs basketball, we give them a call and say, "Hey, it's your time. We need you to answer the call." And that's what they're going to do. They're going to answer the call. Ever since we made certain roster moves and coaching moves and different things like that, we have been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of people reaching out to try to play basketball for us or whatnot. It's been good. But one of our mottos that we have created this year, and it's something that we're standing on, is dogs move in silence. We're going to perfect our formula before we go out, post anything, before we go out and do anything. We're going to perfect it. And the fact that the addition of our new uniforms are going to be crazy. Like the black uniform that we got is going to be phenomenal. And I'm biased because I helped design it. That's why. But it's going to be phenomenal. And just know when we have these games and the tributes that we're going to be doing or whatnot, it's going to be pretty good. But shout out to our GM slash head coach who came in and from the ground running. Once our season ended, he came in and was just going like no lie. Every day, every other day, got a call from him. Hey, listen, we got this going. We got this going. We need this. We need that. I got this player on the line. I got that player on the line. We need this. We need that. Hey, what about our schedule? Hey, you got that taken care of? I got that taken care of. And it's just nonstop. Just go, go, go. And it's amazing to know that we are 95% ready for this upcoming season. When I say we are 95% ready, I mean that we have our venues set. We have a primary venue and a backup venue set in stone. We have the roster pretty much set in stone for the main roster. We're working on our development team as well right now. And then we have a opportunity for the ladies to have their primary venue and practice venue all in one spot. And it's going to be powerful, the damage that we're going to be doing to the game of basketball going forward. Like I'm excited for this upcoming season, and it's going to be good, very good basketball at that. We have a assistant coach who's the head coach of the women's team, but also a player development coach. He's going to be developing our players and kind of pouring into the ladies and bringing them in as need be. And then we have our other assistant coach who's also the lead, the lead director of scouts, and he's going to go out and scout some talent as well, bring some talent in, going to propose to the GM and myself, hey, like I think this is going to be a great fit. I don't think this is going to be a great fit or whatever it may be. So I think it's very amazing how much work we have accomplished, and the season's been over for almost a month now. So I tell my staff members to just take a breath, relax. We're gonna have fun doing this process together. We're gonna enjoy it, but we got to take it one step at a time now and make sure we fine tune everything. And so please keep an eye out on our Instagram. Check us out at dogs_basketball_. That's where we post our signings. That's where we post a lot of things. And that's where you're going to be able to see a lot of stuff that we're going to be introducing, this year for the basketball teams. And so I'm excited for that. I highly suggest that you guys tune into the OG Network, subscribe, like his YouTube channel, but also like and subscribe our YouTube channel, because that's where we're going to be streaming the games from. We're going to stream the games from his channel, but also our channel. And spoiler alert, we're bringing in a commentator this year who's going to be commentating our games. He's very energetic, very ecstatic, and he really would love to be a part of our organization. And I had a great conversation with him, and I'm very, very hyped to bring him on board to kind of like commentate our games and really get like the what do you call it, the lineups going for the organization. And when I say that, like, get the lineups going, I mean he's going to go and obviously make things happen to where it'll be you able to hear him loud and clear on the YouTube live stream as the game's actually happening. And he's going to not only do that for the dogs basketball, but for the ladies dogs, and then the development team as well. And so a lot of good updates have come out of this so far. And just please pay attention to our social media platforms, because that's where a lot of our updates are going to come at. And I'm like I said, I'm very ecstatic and very hyped for this. And yeah, and I appreciate again each and every one of you that's in the chat for tuning in. You know, it means a lot for the support, the comments, keeping the small talk going, and I really appreciate everybody for joining in. And I would really love to see Chopper come on Unfiltered Sports so we could talk more about her Patriots and see why she a Patriots fan. And so, Chop, if you're still in the chat, make sure you get with OG to get you on the Unfiltered Sports, so we can talk about your Patriots and you know how you became a Patriots fan and how you ended up in Philadelphia when the Eagles beat the Patriots or whatnot. And so I want to hear more about that or whatnot. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you all for tuning in to Unfiltered Sports, where we don't care about the PR, we don't care about the publicity stunt, we don't bring the biasness, we bring nothing but the unfiltered truth. And if your feelings get hurt, so be it. You have every single opportunity to reach out, to come on Unfiltered Sports and debate live, and we would love to have that debate going live. So with that being said, everybody, I'm going to give you your time back, give you your night back. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And until next time, you guys stay classy, you stay blessed, and have a great night.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.